The Highland Towers is a story of tragedy when a landslide hit a condominium block in the hills off Kuala Lumpur City due to a heavy monsoon downpour that tragically killed most of its occupants. The sole survivors to this tragedy was a maid and a baby boy, whom the maid was carrying the baby when the landslide occurred, and jumped off the balcony, running away. But this is not a story about the survivors, but it is a story of those who became part of Highland Towers, forever. Young Kevin used to hang around with a bunch of like-minded boys, thrill-seeking friends. One fine day, Kevin and friends decided to visit the remains of the Highland Towers in search of ghosts and spirits, remembering his grandfather's advice and old legends that lost spirits like to follow the living away from their place of demise as a chance to escape. Day before the visit to Highland Towers, he sprinkled a trail of salt around his house to avoid having a spirit follow him or any of friends back to his house. So the group of friends left for Highland Towers that night with a girl they hired, who apparently had the second sight. Upon giving them warning that not all spirits were benevolent, and they could be in danger of a spirit following them home, the girl told them to walk straight to the building and stay away from the banana trees, which were infested in Pontianaks. Upon hearing this later, Kevin had his suspicions confirmed that what he saw that night long ago was a Pontianak. The group then proceeded into the building. Snapping photos, they immediately noticed that there was a huge white shadow of 7 feet towering over them, which the seer said was their protector that night from malicious spirits. The first thing she told them not to do was to not shine their torchlights on the ceiling as it was full of Pontianaks, and not to shine their torchlights into the rooms, as they would see some rather unsavoury things. So they started their journey through the building, and although they did not see anything, they heard plenty. People walking and talking as if they did not know that death had already claimed them, and people screaming as though the building was collapsing again, cold spots and unexplained feelings of somebody staring at them. After an hour or more, they were ready to leave. Laughing and thinking their adventure over, they headed back to their car. The seer suddenly told them, "There is somebody waiting for you at your car." In shock, they stared at their car, not seeing anything. The seer then told them to say their prayers so that the spirit could not follow them, and they got into the car praying very hard, terrified for their lives. The seer said that the spirit was glaring at the car leaving, unable to follow them. While celebrating in relief, the seer then informed them that it might not be the last they see of it. Upon reaching their condominium and dropping their friend off where the seer was still car, the lift door opened. Staring at the inexplicably opened lift door, she suddenly informed them that there was another spirit waiting for them in the lift. In shock, as one, they turned to look at the lift. It was the lift that always behaved crankily, staying open on a floor that had nobody, and which the lift buttons always did not seem to work properly. Praying fervently for their lives, they made it back to their homes safely.